Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a kind of get ready with me. I have my friend here who has a channel as well, and it's Sissa Faye. We're getting ready to do a girls' night out. She kind of presented a challenge to me.
I told her to do black smoky eye, and she's told me no like 3 times, so yeah. I made her do it.
I basically would never do it on my own because it's something that's really, really bold, and I just feel like I already have, you know, hooded lids and smaller eyes, so it would close my eyes more. But I was really surprised and happy at the way that it turned out, and now I'm not so scared to do bold makeup looks anymore.
She could rock it.
So, without further ado, if you are interested and want to see how to get this makeup look, then please keep watching. So for this tutorial, I'm going to start with the eyes. I've already filled in my brows off camera, so then I'm going to go in with my MAC Prep and Prime 24-hour extended eye base, and I'm blending it in using my Sigma P80 Precision Flat Top brush. Then I'm going to set that eyeshadow base using Nude by Anastasia Beverly Hills and a Sigma E40 blending brush. Then I'm going to pick up the shade Orange Soda by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is going to be my transition shade, and I'm just going in windshield wiper motions, blending it into my crease using my Sigma E35 tapered blending brush. And I'm picking warmer shades to apply to my crease because the lid shade's going to be dark and more on the cool side, and I didn't want this to look muddy, so the warmth will definitely help tie it together. Next, I'm going to pick up the shade Cocoa Bear by Makeup Geek, and I'm just applying it a little bit lower on the crease than the transition shade, and I'm keeping this pretty low right there in my eye socket to make sure that I don't take it too high because I do want it to look radiant and I don't want to cover up the transition shade, but I do want to kind of build depth in that area. And I am going in a few times, adding tiny bits of that shade and then kind of blending it in to get the desired intensity that I'm looking for. And then I'm just going to go back in with that Sigma E35 and then blend everything out again. Then I'm going to go in with the shade Smoke by Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is a dark charcoal brown shade. It's very close to black. It's probably the darkest brown that I own, but it's not quite as harsh as black. And I'm just packing that onto my lids using a Sigma E55 shader brush, and I'm just concentrating the shade on the outer third of my eye as well as the inner corner of my eye, and leaving kind of the middle of the lid not quite as concentrated because we're going to be adding a different shade to the center of the lid. Then I'm going to pick up the shade Cherry Cola by Makeup Geek, and I'm just applying that to my crease to blend together the shade Cocoa Bear and Smoke, and this will add a little bit more warmth as well into my crease. Then I'm going to go back in and pick up that Sigma E55 shader brush and apply some more of the Smoke shade back onto my lid because I did lose a little bit of the intensity there when I was blending out. Then I'm going to go into the Kat Von D Shade&Light Eye palette and pick up the black shade on a Sigma E21 smudge brush and apply it to the outer corner of my eye in a V shape. And I just want to build a little bit more intensity in the outer corner, and that helps create the shape that we're looking for with this eye makeup look as well. Then I'm going to pick up my MAC 217 brush again and use whatever's left on it to blend out that outer corner because I don't want any harsh lines there. Taking your time to blend is absolutely key for a look like this because you want it to look nice and smoky. Then for a bright pop of color on the center of my lid, I'm going to pick up the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Cheap Date, and I'm applying it to the center of my lid using a MAC 242 shader brush, and I'm just kind of dabbing it on in a kind of a circular motion to make sure that I'm kind of making it look more blended and not like a stripe down the center of my lid. Then next I'm going to move on to Complexion before finishing up the eyes, and I'm just dabbing some primer onto my skin using my fingers, and I'm using the Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer. Then for foundation, I'm going to be using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in the shade Rattan. I'm applying it using my fingers and then blending it in using a dampened beauty blender. And I found that using a dampened beauty blender with this foundation makes the foundation apply less matte on my skin and not look quite as flat. Then I'm going to do some color correcting, and I'm using my MAC Conceal and Correct Duo, and I'm using the peach shade from that duo underneath my eyes, and I'm just blending it out using my dampened beauty blender. For concealer, I'm going to be using the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye, and I'm using the shade Medium Neutral, which is still slightly lighter than my skin tone, so I'm going to do some highlighting with this as well. I'm applying it using my Sigma F70 concealer brush. I'm going underneath my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, on the center of my forehead, on my Cupid's bow, and right underneath my bottom lip as well. And then I'm just blending that out using my Dampen Beauty Blender once again. And this concealer has a thick kind of tacky texture, so you definitely have to get used to it. And I find that if I set it right away though, it gives a beautiful full coverage, which I really like. So then what I'm using to set my concealer is the Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Setting Powder. And I'm just picking it up on my Beauty Blender and then just dabbing it underneath my eyes and the rest of the areas where I've applied concealer. I'm applying a thick layer of this translucent powder with my Beauty Blender, because then I'm going to go in and dust off the excess using my Sigma F25 papered face brush. And I'm just using that excess to kind of move it around and set the rest of my foundation as well. Then going back to finish up the eyes, I'm going to pick up my Sigma E30 pencil brush and apply Cocoa Bear to my lower lash line. Then I'm going to pick up my Sigma E21 smudge brush and apply the shade Smoke very, very closely to the outer third of my lower lash line. Then to line my waterline, I'm going to be using my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On eye pencil in the shade Perversion. So for this look, I wanted a nice bright inner corner highlight, so I'm using MAC Nylon and applying it to the inner corner of my eyes using a Real Techniques detailer brush. To add some warmth to my skin, I'm going to be picking up my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Give Me Sun, and I'm applying it to the outer perimeter of my face using my MAC 135 brush. Then I wanted to do some contouring, so I'm going to pick up my Kat Von D Shade&Light contour palette, and I'm taking those two shades, the lightest and the medium shade, and I'm applying it to the hollows of my cheeks using my NARS Ita brush. Then next I'm going to take just that lightest shade and apply some to my temples and contour my nose with it as well. For blush, I'm going to be using my Lorac Color Source blush in the shade Chroma, and I'm applying it to the apples of my cheeks using my IT Brushes for Ulta Flawless Blush Brush. Then I'm going to quickly clean up underneath my contour and blush using my Morphe E48 brush and a little bit of translucent powder. Then for my highlight, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills That Glow Kit. I'm taking the two bottom shades there, Bubbly and Dripping in Gold, and I'm just mixing them together and applying them onto the high points of my cheeks, down the bridge of my nose, and my Cupid's bow as well, using my Morphe M310 fan brush. Then I'm going to curl my lashes and apply some mascara, and I'm using my current favorite mascara, and it's the Buxom Lash Mascara. Then moving on to the lips, I'm going to line my lips using my MAC Strip Down Lip Pencil. This lip pencil is pretty close to the shade of my natural lips, so this is my go-to when I'm using a nude lipstick or lip gloss. And for lipstick, I'm going to be using the new Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Naked, and this is part of her new Spring 2016 collection. It's gorgeous. Then I'm going to set my face using my MAC Fix Plus spray, and this look is complete. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed this tutorial and decide to recreate this look on your own. And if you did enjoy this video, then please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video.